Hey guys, thanks for tuning this video. My name is David Justice, and today I'm going to be sharing with you guys 5 different things you should be looking for or considering when purchasing your next flip. Purchasing a flip can be a very scary or exciting time as you have the potential to make a lot of money. However, if your project doesn't go well, you can lose a lot of money and also gain a lot of stress. It's a very tough business. It's not necessarily an easy thing. It's not just slapping paint on the walls and putting new fridges and making $100,000. There is actually a strategy, and there are certain skills you need to have, and there are things you need to look for and keep in mind when purchasing your flip and when selling the flip. So I decided to do this video because after about a couple weeks now, I've had several people reach out asking me for help so that they can buy a flip, or they've already started working on a project and they've run into a few issues. So I hope this video helps. I'm going to keep it nice and short. As you guys can see, I'm in my video. I'm stumbling on my words. I'm in my car. I've been trying to record a video for a while now. It's been a couple of weeks, and you know what? I just said, screw it. Let's just get this video done so I can provide insight for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Please let me know below what you guys think of the tips I shared today. The first thing you should be considering when purchasing a flip is the location. One thing I like to advise people to do is look for areas that have a lot of home sales recently, typically within the last 3 to 6 months. I know a lot of people like specific areas personally. Maybe their family is there, maybe it's closer to you, maybe it's easier to access the property, maybe the home prices are really cheap. Whatever the case may be, you want to think from a business perspective of what is going to sell. If you're doing a hard money loan, it may be costing you monthly payments of interest every month that you keep the home on the property. Potentially, if the home is on the market and it's in a status that shows it's been on the market for a while, this can potentially also make it look unappealing to potential buyers. You want to market the home and pick a home in a place that shows that flips and properties that are being rehabbed are pretty popular in the area, or areas where there's a lot of people moving to because they're very desirable. Maybe they have great schools, maybe they're close to parks, maybe they have a lot of shopping, whatever the case may be. You want to pick areas that you know are desired by potential buyers. Also, you want to look into where the home is located in a specific neighborhood, or if it's a condo, what floor it's on. If it's in a suburb, is it right on the main street entering the neighborhood, or is it all the way in the back? Is it a corner lot? All these different things really do come into play with what buyers want when they're looking for a home. Again, it doesn't mean other homes that don't fit this criteria won't sell, but when you're flipping, you want to find homes that are not necessarily guaranteed sell, but homes that have a pretty good chance of being desirable just because of their location. The next thing I want to talk about is a major thing that people don't do, and it is not looking for major signs of defect. For example, a lot of people on the outside see that, maybe I can just slap some paint and some appliances in here and look good, but they don't take the time to do inspections or do their research on that specific property. Does it have an oil tank? Is it underground? Is it in good condition? How is the plumbing? Is the roof, pretty much completely screwed and leaking through the house? Is it the foundation solid? Does the neighborhood have some water issues where, maybe the water's not so good? There's a lot of major things that you can run into, and you really want to look out for these defects. If it has lead paint, that could be a major thing as well. If you have to paint the whole, the house, or cover the paint up, or maybe you have to test it, whatever case may be, test the soil. I know this might sound crazy and you might not think that you're going to run into these issues, but a lot of times buyers don't do the due diligence in the beginning and end up finding out halfway through their rehab, and it costs them a lot of money. This can be something that decides whether you make a lot of money or you lose money, or potentially you don't sell the house because you can't afford to fix it, and now you're stuck with a property that you can't complete. So definitely look for major signs of defect, especially environmental things. This next tip is pretty simple and straightforward, but generally you want to study the market, and specifically homes that have sold, to see what typically sells fast and has a lot of buyers for. I know you want to make it look like it's on HGTV and make it all glamorous, or you might be trying to make as much money and cheap it out. What you want to do is not make your personal home or save money. You want to figure out what sells quickly and what is the typical style for homes that do sell and for the most money. That's what you want to do, is increase the potential amount of buyers and the pool of buyers that will want your house. So I know that you don't want to add $20,000 because you want to add a bathroom, but is one bathroom common, or do most people like to have 2 or 3 bathrooms? Is having a pool awesome for your family? That's cool. But if pools are not typically what you find in that area, you may be overpricing the home, or somebody may not want to do the maintenance because maybe that town is in an area where it's rainy or snowy all the time, and they don't like having pools there. I don't know. Just when it comes to the styling, are you in, maybe, I don't know, in Florida or something, and tile is normal for floors? Maybe where you are, they like hardwood floors, and they like original hardwood floors because you're in a historic area. Whatever the case may be, you want to match the styling. You can put your little piece of styling on there, put your touch on it. But generally, you want to sell, and to sell the house, you want to style it in a way that a lot of buyers are going to want a house. Not too specific. Try using neutral colors. Use good quality material. But again, not too specific, not too cheap. Whatever typically sells in the area. This next tip is something I don't think people talk about too much, is research the city or township you'll be flipping in. A lot of people just buy houses because they think it's a great deal, but they don't look into the city. When you're more than likely going to have to work with them for, getting public records or information on the city or the property, or just getting permits, whatever the case may be, you're going to at least work with them a few times. And nothing is worse than you find a good property and the city is hard to deal with. You can't get in touch with people. Their fees are super high. It takes weeks or months just to do the simplest thing. So maybe when you get seasoned, you get a couple flips on your belt, you can work with other towns that you just want to work in. But the first couple of them, I would research the city and maybe work with those areas that are a little bit easy to work with. And to do this, you can go to the township building. Hopefully you can find it. That's another thing, is where is it at? But go talk to the people and see what their processes are, what their costs are. Talk to, there's like Facebook groups for investors where you can ask them about specific cities. If you know anybody that's flipped, talk to them, or ask a local realtor as well. If you're in Jersey, you can ask me. But you definitely don't want to be dealing with a very difficult city your first flip. My last and final tip, I think, is one of the most important, and that is do your due diligence on contractors and service providers. Unless you're doing the whole house yourself, and I applaud you if you can build a whole house with your bare hands, but more likely you're going to be hiring contractors like painters, electricians, or you might get one general contractor that subcontracts the work out to others, whatever the case may be. Before you find a house and sign a contract, whether you're going to get the house or not, it doesn't matter. What you need to do is maybe get a couple quotes from different contractors. Unless you have been, again, you're a seasoned flipper and you have multiple deals under your belt and you have a guy or girl that you use all the time, that's awesome. But for the new flippers, what you want to do is get multiple quotes and talk to multiple people, because more than likely your first person is probably not going to be your last or your best. Whether it's how much they charge, how fast they move, their availability. Maybe they can't start the project for 2 months. Maybe they can start tomorrow, but it's just one person. Whatever the case may be. Maybe they have bad reviews if they're a bigger company. Maybe you never heard of them and somebody's trying to get into business. These are a lot of factors you want to look into, because after all, this is going to be a great investment. Maybe you can make $20,000 to $200,000, or maybe you can lose a lot of money because it takes a long time. They do crappy work. Maybe they quit the job and you're stuck with doing it yourself. Whatever the case may be, this is one to not speed by. You definitely want to take your time with finding workers for your flip. So there are my 5 tips on things that you should consider and practice when looking to flip a property. Again, I hope these really do help you guys. I wasn't trying to make this a super long video. I'm probably going to do more tip videos like this in the future. Let me know if this was helpful below, and also comment below any questions or any other topics you would like me to speak on. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video.